Joe here again. Going to participate in the 2025 cassette tag put on by Mr. Two from the Trunk. He set out 8 questions in front of us to answer, and so let's get to it. Question number 1: why do you still collect cassette tapes? Well, I was born in 1981, so the format was big during that time frame. CDs didn't come into play for me until the early to mid 90s, really. Cassettes, I had a portable cassette player, had a cassette deck in my house, so it was very prominent in my life. Most of my music listening was via cassette. Either I was listening to the radio, or I was listening to pre-recorded cassettes, or I was listening to mixtapes that I made for myself off of the radio or from other cassettes. Question number 2: show your favorite artist or band on cassette. My favorite artist has got to be Bob Dylan, bringing it all back home. Just picked this up recently. Very nice cassette, very clean. Really have enjoyed listening to this one, and also just picked this one up too. This is kind of a hard one to find. Bob Dylan, Time Out of Mind. Great cassette. Lovesick, Dirt Road Blues is probably one of my favorite songs on this album. Great sounding album. So my favorite artist, band, would love to pick up some more Dylan. I don't see too many Dylan cassette tapes. And when I was younger, Dylan, I couldn't stand Dylan. Dylan's voice drove me nuts. But now, as I've gotten older, especially when I got into vinyl. Like I said, I didn't get into vinyl until 3 years ago. Cassettes, I'm very familiar with the format. But vinyl, recently, only in the last 3 years have I gotten into vinyl. And it was during that time I picked up my first record, which was Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. And I've been hooked ever since. When I was growing up, I couldn't stand them. Didn't want to listen to them. So that's my favorite artist, band on the cassette. Number 3, show your best sounding cassette. My best sounding cassette is probably this Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. This is a XDR tape, if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see. XDR tapes are probably the best sounding cassette tapes that are out there. Or they're supposed to be. I don't know if you can see that. But anyways, this is my dad's cassette tape, and I recently found this after cleaning up around the house that I used to was born and raised in. But it was a good find, and I really like listening to this. Great sound on cassette. Another good sounding one that I have is my favorite Dire Straits, which is their self-titled, trying to get my camera to focus here, self-titled album, Dire Straits. Great sound on this. Down to the Waterline, 6-Blade Knife, Southbound Again. Southbound Again is probably my favorite song on this album, so I showed 2. My biggest cassette tape find has got to be this one, Pink Floyd, Animals. This is my favorite Pink Floyd. Animals. This is the original. Great sound of this as well. Pink Floyd, Animals. It's my biggest cassette find of this year. Like I said, my favorite. It's my favorite. It's my favorite Pink Floyd album. Show a mixtape. This is a mixtape that I'm actually on. My dad died in 1988, and my stepfather came into my life in 89. And I think this tape was recorded in 89. And this has me, my stepbrother, and my 2 stepsisters on it, and my stepfather's grandfather on it. And he was like a musician from I think he was from Pittsburgh, lived in Pittsburgh. But anyways, went over to his, they moved down here to where I live at, and we went over to his house and recorded on this tape, it was Christmas time, and we were singing Christmas carols. And I'm actually going to play that for you here in just a second once I get through with listening, or not listening, answering some of the rest of these questions. But this is a mixtape with me on it. We're going to listen to it in a second. So that's a mixtape. The best live album that I have is this Allman Brothers. And this is my favorite live album, period. This was the 2025 vinyl tag. I picked this one as my favorite live album. This is Allman Brothers at the Fillmore East. Great album. Just a great sound of this as well. The bonus cassette box set. I don't have any cassette box sets anymore. I did have the Grateful Dead live in Europe, but I recently sold that. But that would probably be my favorite box set, or the cassette box set that I did on to show a portable player. Here is a Sony Walkman. Just picked this up recently. This one is, I'm working on this one actually at the moment. This has some issues. I'm waiting on some capacitors right now. I like to tinker with this kind of stuff. This is a WM41. This is actually just the case. I have the motor and everything out of the case because I'm working on it currently. Great looking retro player. Very cheap player, to be honest with you. The mechanism on this thing is very simple. I don't think it's very reliable. The best sounding motion, tape path and everything. The motor's very simple, not reliable is what I'm trying to say. Let's listen to this mixtape. I want to play this for you. Not very long. I know I won't get any copyright strike on this.
And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can.
And this is me and my stepbrother and stepsister singing Christmas carols.
For me, have a holly jolly Christmas, in case you didn't hear. Oh, my golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
Now that was the Jolly Christmas Carolers. And the Holly Jolly, or the Jolly Holly. And we'd like to introduce each one so you'll know the individual efforts. And your name is?
Emily Ward.
This is me, Nick.
Joe Ward. Andrew Ward. Christina Ward.
So the adults didn't sing, they kept.
So that was just a little snippet. That was me. My name is Joe Williamson, and everybody else's last name is Ward, but I said Joe Ward. But anyways, so why do I still collect cassette tapes? I love them. Great fun format. Are they the best sounding? No, but they're fun. But they do sound good on a good tape deck. They do sound good. Favorite artist? Got to be Dylan. Best sounding tape? Got to be Dark Side of the Moon. But also, I have this one as well. This is a great sounding album. My favorite, Dire Straits. Best find of the year is this Pink Floyd, Animals. Best live tape I have, Allman Brothers, live at the Fillmore East. The mixtape is me singing some Christmas songs. And here's my non-working, but I'm going to get it working, Sony Walkman WM41. Again, this is the Cassette Tag 2025. If you're into cassettes, jump on this tag. Very easy, very fun. It's very simple, like cassette tapes. Leave a comment below what your favorite cassette tape find of the year is and your best sounding tape. Give me a follow. See you soon.